What if something already sitting in your grocery store, something you may have walked right past last week, could quietly protect your body from one of the most feared diseases on earth? Not a pill, not an expensive supplement, not something your doctor has to prescribe, just 4 ordinary vegetables. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I've heard this kind of thing before, but stay with me for just a moment, because what researchers have discovered in the last few years is not just interesting, it's genuinely life-changing, and it's especially important if you are over the age of 60. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which 4 vegetables oncologists, that's cancer doctors, are now recommending to their patients, and more importantly, you'll know why they work and how to eat them for the greatest benefit. So don't touch that remote. This one could matter more than you know. Hello, and welcome. If you're watching this, chances are you care deeply about your health, or the health of someone you love, and that already puts you ahead of so many people. Let's start with a number that stops most people in their tracks. According to the National Cancer Institute, nearly 40% of Americans will be diagnosed with cancer at some point in their lifetime, and the risk increases significantly after age 60. In fact, more than 60% of all cancer diagnoses in this country occur in people age 60 and older. That's not meant to frighten you. That's meant to wake you up in the kindest possible way. Because here's the good news that doesn't get nearly enough attention. What you eat every single day has a direct, measurable impact on your cancer risk. And for people who are already fighting cancer, diet can influence how their body responds to treatment, how quickly they recover, and how strong they feel during one of the hardest journeys of their lives. Doctors and researchers at some of the most respected cancer centers in the world, places like MD Anderson, the Mayo Clinic, and Johns Hopkins, have been studying the relationship between food and cancer for decades. And time and again, a short list of vegetables keeps rising to the top. Today, we are going to talk about 4 of them. These aren't exotic superfoods from faraway lands. These are humble, affordable, easy-to-find vegetables that most of us already know. The difference is in how and why we eat them. Let's get into it. Vegetable number 1. Broccoli. Conversational. Easy. Like explaining to a neighbor over coffee. The first vegetable on our list is one you almost certainly recognize. It's been on dinner plates across America for generations. It's broccoli. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "I knew they were going to say broccoli," let me tell you something about broccoli that most people have never heard, because this isn't just about fiber or vitamins. There's a very specific reason oncologists are paying serious attention to this vegetable. Inside broccoli, and inside its close relatives like cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage, there is a powerful compound called sulforaphane. That's spelled sulforaphane, and it's pronounced sulforaphane. Now, don't let the science word put you off. Here's what it means in plain English. Sulforaphane is a natural chemical that activates your body's own internal defense systems. Think of it like a light switch. When you eat broccoli, sulforaphane flips that switch, and your cells start producing enzymes, little protein workers that help neutralize harmful substances called carcinogens. Carcinogens are the chemicals that can trigger cancer cells to grow. Multiple studies have shown that sulforaphane can actually slow the growth of certain cancer cells. Research published in the medical journal Cancer Prevention Research found that it showed promising effects against breast cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer, and lung cancer. Now, here's a fascinating detail that most people have never been told. How you prepare broccoli matters enormously. When you chew raw broccoli, 2 things inside the vegetable, an enzyme called myrosinase and a compound called glucoraphanin, they mix together and they create sulforaphane. That's the reaction you want. But when you boil broccoli for too long, the heat destroys that enzyme, and the reaction can't happen as effectively. So what's the best way to eat it? 3 simple tips. First, eat it raw a few times a week, in a salad, as a snack with hummus, or chopped up small in any dish you enjoy. Second, when you do cook it, steam it lightly, just 3 to 4 minutes, not boiled to mush, lightly steamed. This preserves most of the beneficial compounds. And third, here's one that might surprise you. Add a small pinch of mustard, seed or mustard powder to your cooked broccoli. This actually restores some of the enzyme activity that was lost during cooking. It sounds unusual, but researchers at Johns Hopkins confirmed that it works. How much broccoli should you be eating? Doctors generally recommend about half a cup to 1 full cup every day, whether it's broccoli itself or another vegetable from the same family. And here's a reassuring thought. It doesn't have to be boring. Broccoli roasted in the oven with a little olive oil and garlic turns into something almost addictive. Many people who claim they hate broccoli have simply never had it roasted properly. One gentle reminder before we move on: if you are on blood thinners like warfarin, please speak with your doctor before significantly increasing your intake of broccoli or any dark green vegetable. These vegetables are high in vitamin K, which can interact with that type of medication. Always check with your doctor first. That advice applies to everything we discussed today. Vegetable number 2, garlic. Storytelling, engaging, a sense of wonder and history. The second vegetable on our list has been used as medicine for over 5,000 years. 5,000 years. Ancient Egyptians gave it to pyramid workers for strength and endurance. Hippocrates, the man widely considered the father of modern medicine, prescribed it for respiratory conditions more than 2,000 years ago. And today, modern science is validating what healers have known for millennia. That vegetable is garlic. Garlic is technically a member of the allium family, the same family as onions, leeks, and shallots. And all of these vegetables contain powerful sulfur compounds that have shown impressive cancer-fighting properties. But garlic stands out as the most potent of all of them. The key compound in garlic is called allicin, A-L-L-I-C-I-N, pronounced al-isin. And here's the remarkable thing about allicin. It doesn't exist in garlic until you damage the clove. When you crush, chop, or chew a garlic clove, a chemical reaction occurs, and allicin is born. This is nature's own design, and it's quite extraordinary when you think about it. The National Cancer Institute has a dedicated program studying food and cancer prevention. Their research, along with studies from the World Health Organization and dozens of independent universities, has consistently found that people who eat more garlic have lower rates of certain cancers, particularly stomach cancer and colorectal cancer. A major study called the Iowa Women's Health Study followed over 40,000 women over many years. The researchers found that women who regularly consumed garlic had a 35% lower risk of developing colon cancer compared to women who rarely ate it, 35%. And that came from food, not from a prescription, not from a supplement, from food. For people who are already dealing with cancer, garlic helps in another critical way as well. It supports the immune system. When the body is fighting cancer or going through treatments like chemotherapy, the immune system is often weakened and exhausted. It needs all the help it can get. Garlic contains compounds that stimulate the activity of what scientists call natural killer cells. These are your body's own frontline soldiers, the cells that patrol your body and fight back against abnormal and cancerous cells. So how do you get the most out of garlic? Here's what the research suggests. After you crush or mince a garlic clove, let it sit for 10 minutes before cooking with it. That waiting time allows the allicin reaction to complete fully, making it significantly more potent. Don't be afraid to eat it raw sometimes, mixed into salad dressings, dips, or spreads. And when you do cook with it, try to add the garlic toward the end of cooking rather than the beginning. Extended high heat can reduce some of its beneficial compounds. As a daily habit, aim for 1 to 2 cloves of garlic per day. Now, a lot of older adults are concerned about garlic's effect on their breath or their digestion. That's completely understandable. Eating garlic with food rather than on an empty stomach tends to be much gentler, and parsley, which pairs beautifully with garlic in dozens of recipes, is a wonderful natural breath freshener. One more note. Garlic can have mild blood thinning effects. If you take blood thinning medications, or if you have surgery coming up, please mention your garlic intake to your doctor, just to be safe. Pause. Engagement moment. Speak directly, slow down, make eye contact with the camera if on screen. If you are over 60, or if you are caring for an elderly parent or a loved one right now, I want to take just a moment to speak directly to you. What we are talking about today is not a cure. Let me be completely clear about that. But what food can do, at any age, is create an internal environment that is either more or less hospitable to disease. Think of it like the soil in a garden. You can't control every seed that blows in with the wind, but you can control the soil. These 4 vegetables are about improving your soil. If this video has been helpful to you so far, I'd like to ask a small favor. Take a second right now and click the like button below. It tells us that this kind of content is valuable, and it helps us reach more seniors and families who need this information. Now, let's keep going, because we still have 2 more vegetables to cover, and they are just as important. Vegetable number 3, spinach. Informative, encouraging, rich with detail, but still easy to follow. Our third vegetable is one that Popeye made famous, and as it turns out, the old cartoon wasn't entirely wrong. Spinach is genuinely powerful, but not for the reasons most people think. Yes, spinach has iron. Yes, it has calcium. But the reason oncologists are recommending it has more to do with a group of compounds called carotenoids, particularly beta-carotene, lutein, and zeaxanthin, as well as its exceptionally high levels of folate and antioxidants. Let me explain all of that in simple terms. Our bodies are constantly under attack from molecules called free radicals. These are unstable particles created by stress, pollution, processed food, and even just normal body functions. When free radicals damage the DNA inside our cells, that damage can sometimes trigger cancerous growth. Antioxidants are nature's answer. They neutralize free radicals before they can cause harm, and spinach is loaded with them. It contains vitamin C, vitamin E, beta-carotene, and a host of other protective plant compounds. Multiple studies have linked high spinach consumption to reduced risk of breast cancer, prostate cancer, and colorectal cancer. But there's something else in spinach that deserves special attention. It's called folate, also known as vitamin B9. Folate plays a critical role in how our DNA replicates and repairs itself. When folate levels are low, which is quite common in older adults, because absorption naturally decreases with age, the risk of DNA errors during cell division increases. And errors in cell division are exactly how cancerous mutations can begin. A large study published in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute found that women with the highest folate intake had a significantly lower risk of breast cancer, particularly among those who also consumed alcohol, which is known to deplete folate stores in the body. So how do you get the best from spinach? Raw spinach in salads retains its folate and vitamin C most effectively, since both of those are sensitive to heat. Lightly sautéed spinach with garlic and olive oil actually makes some of its other nutrients more available, because the heat gently breaks down the cell walls and helps your body absorb what's inside. And adding a source of vitamin C alongside your spinach, a squeeze of lemon, some fresh tomato, a splash of orange juice, dramatically increases how much iron your body absorbs from it. Try to eat 1 to 2 cups of fresh spinach, or about half a cup cooked, most days of the week. One practical note for seniors. Spinach contains natural compounds called oxalates. In very large quantities, these can contribute to kidney stones in people who are already prone to them. If you have a history of kidney stones, check with your doctor about appropriate amounts for you specifically. And finally, here is one of the most practical things I can tell you about spinach. It is easy to hide in foods you already love. A large handful of spinach blended into a fruit smoothie is virtually undetectable. You won't taste it, you won't see it, but your body will feel the difference. Stirred into soups, folded into scrambled eggs, mixed into pasta sauces, spinach is one of the easiest and most powerful health upgrades you will ever make. Vegetable number 4, carrots. Warm, uplifting, a sense of pleasant surprise. Our fourth and final vegetable is, in my opinion, the most underestimated one on this entire list. It's ordinary, it's inexpensive, it's everywhere, and yet the research behind it is quietly extraordinary. The vegetable is the carrot. Carrots are one of the richest food sources of beta-carotene on the planet. Your body converts beta-carotene into vitamin A, and together, these compounds act as powerful antioxidants that protect your cell membranes from damage. But what makes carrots particularly fascinating to cancer researchers is a group of natural compounds that carrots produce to protect themselves, called polyacetylenes. The most studied one is called falcarinol, pronounced falcarinol. In laboratory studies, falcarinol has shown a remarkable ability to inhibit, meaning slow down or stop, the growth of cancer cells, particularly in colorectal cancer. A landmark study conducted by researchers in Denmark and the United Kingdom found that subjects given falcarinol had significantly fewer developed tumors compared to the control group. While human clinical trials are still ongoing, the early results have been intriguing enough that major cancer research institutions are paying very close attention. Meanwhile, the beta-carotene and vitamin A in carrots has been linked, in multiple large studies, to a reduced risk of lung cancer. That is particularly meaningful for older adults who may have smoked at some point in their lives or who spent decades around secondhand smoke without fully realizing its long-term effects. Carrots also contain vitamin K, potassium, and fiber, all of which support the kind of healthy internal environment that makes it harder for cancer to thrive. Now here's the wonderfully counterintuitive thing about carrots. Cooking them actually increases some of their benefits. Unlike broccoli, whose enzymes are sensitive to prolonged heat, the beta-carotene in carrots becomes more bioavailable when they are cooked. Bioavailable simply means your body can absorb more of it. And eating them with a small amount of healthy fat, like olive oil or a slice of avocado, helps your digestive system transport that beta-carotene into your bloodstream far more efficiently. So here's how to make the most of carrots. Roast them with olive oil. They caramelize beautifully, become naturally sweet, and deliver maximum nutritional value. Add them to soups, stews, and slow-cooked dishes. They hold their nutrients well during long cooking and add wonderful natural flavor. Snack on raw carrots with a little hummus or nut butter, even in raw form. The fat in those dips helps your body absorb the beta-carotene. Aim for at least one medium carrot, or about half a cup cooked, every day. And when possible, choose whole carrots rather than the pre-peeled baby variety. The outer layer of a carrot is particularly rich in nutrients and in that remarkable compound, falcarinol. One more thing worth saying about carrots: they are one of the most senior-friendly vegetables in existence. They're soft when cooked, which is helpful for anyone with dental concerns. They're inexpensive and available every single month of the year. They're familiar, they're comforting, and they require almost no preparation. The carrot is one of nature's quiet gifts, and now you know exactly why. Bonus tips: practical, helpful, supportive, like a caring conversation at the end of a visit. Before we wrap up, I want to share 5 practical tips for seniors and their families, because knowing which vegetables to eat is only half the battle. Making it sustainable is the other half. Tip number 1: follow the rainbow rule. While our 4 featured vegetables are already wonderfully varied, the broader principle is this: eat as many colors as possible. Each color in vegetables represents a different group of phytonutrients, plant chemicals with protective properties. More colors on your plate means more protection for your body. Tip number 2: don't worry if fresh isn't always possible. For seniors on a budget or with limited mobility, frozen vegetables are an excellent option. Studies have shown that frozen vegetables, which are typically frozen within hours of harvest, often retain their nutrients just as well as fresh produce. Canned vegetables can work too. Just look for low-sodium varieties and give them a rinse before eating. Tip number 3: talk to your doctor before making major changes. This applies especially to people on medications, those going through active cancer treatment, or those with conditions like kidney disease, diabetes, or heart disease. What's beneficial in general may need to be adjusted for your specific situation. A registered dietitian, especially one who specializes in oncology, can be an invaluable resource. Ask your doctor for a referral. Tip number 4. Don't aim for perfection, aim for consistency. One of the most common mistakes people make when they learn about healthy eating is trying to change everything at once. That's exhausting, and it rarely sticks. Instead, add just one of these vegetables to your meals this week. Just one. Next week, add another. Small, sustainable changes made consistently over time are what truly protect your health. And tip number 5. Grow what you can. Even a small container garden on a porch or windowsill can yield spinach, garlic, or carrots with very little effort. And gardening provides something beyond the food itself. It offers light exercise, fresh air, and a wonderful sense of purpose, all of which support health and well-being in older adults in ways that go far beyond nutrition. Closing summary. Slow down, let each point land, warm and inspiring. Let's bring it all home. Today, we talked about 4 vegetables that doctors and cancer researchers are recommending with increasing confidence. Broccoli, for its sulforaphane, which activates your cell's own cancer-fighting defense systems. Garlic, for its allicin, which has been shown to reduce the risk of certain cancers and powerfully support your immune system. Spinach, for its antioxidants and folate, which protect your DNA and help prevent the mutations that lead to cancer. And carrots, for their beta-carotene and falcarinol, which have shown remarkable protective effects, especially for lung and colorectal cancer. None of these are miracle cures. None of them replace your doctor's guidance, but all of them represent something genuinely hopeful. The idea that every single day, with every single meal, you have the opportunity to give your body a little more protection. At 60, at 70, at 80, it is never too late to start. Your body is remarkably resilient. It wants to heal. It wants to protect itself. And when you give it the right tools, these simple, humble, powerful vegetables, it has every opportunity to do exactly that. You deserve to feel well. You deserve to live fully. And you deserve to know the information that helps you do both. Call to action. Friendly, direct, genuine. If this video gave you something valuable today, a new piece of knowledge, a bit of hope, a concrete step you can take, please hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps more people find this content. And if you know someone over 60, a parent, a sibling, a dear friend who would benefit from watching this, please share it with them today. It takes 3 seconds, and it could make a real difference in their life. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss videos like this one. We share new content every week, all focused on the health topics that matter most to seniors and the families who love them. And in the comments below, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 4 vegetables do you already eat regularly, or is there one you're going to add to your meals this week? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. Take care of yourself. Take care of the people you love, and I will see you in the next video.